From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 7, streaming now.
And thanks for joining us here on the News at 7. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. Right now, the Indianapolis City County Council is about to start discussing a proposal that one group says will increase accountability for IMPD. Faith leaders and council members met this afternoon for a prayer for democracy. They are hoping the council will pass Proposal 237, which would add 4 civilians to the Metro Police Department's General Orders Committee. The committee determines the procedures IMPD officers follow on the job every day. Right now, the committee is made up of 3 people, 2 appointed by the chief of police and 1 by the police union. Supporters say this change would bring co-governance between law enforcement and the people they protect.
This is a great day because what we're proposing and what we've been working on with Faith in Indiana is that each and every citizen in Indianapolis and the state of Indiana and even abroad can have that safety and that equality and justice that's in our Constitution, that's in our creeds, that our nation stands for. And we are not adversaries of the police department. We are, in fact, allies.
We've reached out to IMPD about the proposed change to its General Orders Committee, but have not received a response. This is a live look at the City County Council meeting where the proposal will be introduced. A final vote on the measure is not expected until it is reviewed by committee.
An Indianapolis man is under arrest and is facing charges for driving while intoxicated and causing a crash that Greenfield police say almost killed a woman. Body camera video shows Greenfield patrolman Blake Kroll pulling the woman from her flipped and burning car around 1:30 in the morning on September 9th. Patrolman Kroll was able to get her to a safe distance from the car before parts of it began to explode. She was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The man who was driving another vehicle involved in the crash was taken to the Hancock County Jail.
Checking in now with Storm Team meteorologist Kyle Mounts on the weather. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, Amanda, it was a beautiful start to the work and school week here across central Indiana with lots of sunshine. That low humidity right now is at just 50% with a temperature of 74. Still a little breezy out there. That northeast wind around 15 miles per hour, but that'll start to relax here as the sun sets in about an hour. Temperature-wise, lower 70s around Muncie, even the upper 60s already in the Richmond area. Contrast that to some warmer air that made its way into the Hoosier State earlier this afternoon. Sullivan right now at 80. Very quiet weather, not only across central Indiana, but the big picture here, you just start to see a few of those outer bands from Sally across the southeastern portion of the U.S. But here at home, we'll keep those skies pretty clear. Temperatures in the lower 70s at 8 o'clock, upper 60s as we go to 10 o'clock tonight. Coming up, we'll talk about how long that low humidity is going to stick around, if we'll have any impacts from Sally to the south, and fall feel even more with lows in the 40s in the 7-day planning forecast.
Thanks, Kyle. Today, the State Department of Health reported an additional 755 coronavirus cases in Indiana. That brings the total to more than 106,000 since the pandemic began. 3,215 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19, including 2 deaths recorded on Sunday. The state's positivity rate has been dropping. 6.2% of all tests have come back positive since testing began, and 4.9% were positive between September 1st and September 7th. A new study has found that the stay-at-home orders issued in states during the spring led to a drop in the rate of COVID-19 infection. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Geither shows us the argument behind staying home during a pandemic.
When states started issuing strict stay-at-home orders this spring, not only did people tend to follow them, but it helped slow the spread of COVID-19. That's according to a new study published in the journal JAMA Network Open. Using data from more than 45 million cell phones between March 11th and April 10th, researchers were able to see how far and how often people traveled each day. The findings highlighted the results in the 5 states where infections were highest at the time.
Mobility went down significantly. There was a significant decrease. People stayed at home more. Their distance that they traveled was far less, and you saw a significant decrease in COVID transmission as well. So people did abide by the stay-at-home orders.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who is not part of the study, says the research is both promising and also a reminder of what happens if certain steps aren't taken soon enough or are let up too early.
What they also have seen in other studies was that had that stay-at-home order gone into effect 2 weeks earlier, right now there would likely be about 80% decreased overall viral spread in this country. Significant. What we do now will have a much more significant impact, a couple months from now.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Pfizer is asking more people to test its coronavirus vaccine. Over the weekend, the pharmaceutical company proposed an expansion from 30,000 phase 3 volunteers to 44,000. Pfizer wants the additional participants to be more diverse and include people as young as 16. It says it would give a more accurate picture of the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine. Pfizer's CEO also said there's a 60% chance we could know if its vaccine works by the end of October. But medical experts are skeptical.
To see a CEO get out ahead of the science here, I think, is something that we should all take with a grain of salt.
We don't have enough people in these trials right now that are minorities, that are from vulnerable populations, people with HIV, people with cancer, people of varying age groups.
Meanwhile, the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington says it has updated models shows the U.S. could see more than 415,000 COVID-19 deaths by New Year's Day. That's about 5,000 more than the model was predicting just a week earlier.
Rescue organizations and animal shelters across central Indiana are facing challenges because of the pandemic. With a lack of funding due to canceled fundraisers and lower adoption numbers, they are trying to continue their mission of saving animals. WRTV's Nicole Griffin is in Shelby County with a call to action from the owner of a local animal rescue.
For as long as she can remember.
I've loved dogs all my life. I've been saving them since I was a kid. Picking them up off the street, Dad would get mad.
Shelly Christie has had a passion for helping neglected animals. She started Canine Castaways Rescue with her late husband in Fountaintown in 2014.
Mainly pull from kill shelters.
In March, she took on the case of an 8-year-old boxer named Sadie who was found on the side of the road in Indianapolis.
I mean, she only weighed I think it was 35, 36 pounds, which is way underweight. And couldn't hardly stand.
The vet determined Sadie had dog bite wounds, was starving, and hung by a rope by her front legs. After 7 days in the hospital, Christy is still paying off her vet bill,
which is right at $5,900 to save her. But ultimately, she is saved. And since then, we have found her a wonderful home.
With adoptions down during the pandemic, Christy's work has not stopped. She pulled this wolf hybrid from Bloomington who was found walking with a chain around his neck, and this German Shepherd who was surrendered in Muncie. Meanwhile, Capone, a boxer mix, has been at CCR for a year. Christy is still working to find him a home.
We just cannot do it without everybody that has followed us, helped us, because ultimately, just because I'm here, they're still the reason these dogs are being saved.
After 6 years of giving castaways another chance, Christy has goals to continue growing. She hopes animal lovers who believe in her mission will donate on her Facebook page or come out to the Harvest Festival at VFW Post 2695 on October 24th in Shelbyville. Working for you, Nicole Griffin, WRTV.
In order to get a full idea of how the pandemic is impacting shelters, we reached out to several. Hancock County Humane Society says they are at half the number of intakes and adoptions compared to last year. Indy Humane is down nearly 600. Each organization says the need for donations is critical.
Still ahead on the news at 7, Hurricane Sally is strengthening and heading for the Gulf Coast. Communities still recovering from the last major storm are rushing to prepare.
Plus, the pandemic is shaking up holiday traditions. The big announcement today about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 7, streaming now.
It may look like someone is trying to share pictures with you, but that email is probably just someone trying to hack you. Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau on what you need to watch for.
This is for anyone who has a Google account. There's an email going around where they are supposedly sharing photos with you. The email says no reply -photos at google.com. What this is this is just a way to try to steal your Google account information. So when you click on it and click on the link, It's going to ask you to put in your username and your password. There aren't going to be any photos out there. They're just trying to steal your user information at this point. So don't fall for that. Always check the URL and don't fall for links from unsolicited people, particularly if they're asking you for any account information, passwords, usernames, those types of things. But this is a popular one that's going around. They say that they're sharing photos with you. It's reply-photoalbums@google.com. Don't fall for it. Don't click on the link. Don't give them your username or your password.
You can find out more about this scam and others to watch out for by going online to bbb.org.
It has been a dry month. We're almost halfway through September, and we haven't even seen 1/10 of an inch of rain in the gauge yet. We'll go on the search for some of that rainfall in the 7-day planning forecast. You're watching WRTV News at 7.
A holiday tradition will be different this year because of the coronavirus pandemic. Spectators will not be allowed to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade from the streets this year. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio made the announcement today. The 94th annual parade can be watched on TV and online. De Blasio didn't give details about what he calls a reimagined version of the parade, but he said he will be reviewing the specifics with Macy's today.
Gulf Coast residents are preparing for a new weather onslaught tonight. Hurricane Sally is expected to reach land by early Tuesday, bringing dangerous conditions, including risk of flooding from Louisiana to Mississippi. ABC's Elwin Lopez has more.
Slow-moving Hurricane Sally rapidly intensifying, threatening Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Sally is expected to slam the Gulf Coast as a Category 2 storm in less than 24 hours.
We're trying to drain the city as fast as we receive the rain. So we're just trying to do the best that we can to prepare our city for a lot of rainfall.
In Louisiana, coastal and low-lying areas bracing for up to 11 feet of storm surge. An added strain for communities still recovering from Hurricane Laura. And in Mississippi, families racing to get out of the storm's path.
If this one hits the coast at a Cat 2, I'm thinking we're going to have at least 6 to 7 foot of water where we standing at.
Officials worry the storm's slow pace could dump rain for days.
The slowing of the storm, that is concerning. The longer and it stays out in the Gulf of Mexico, the more and higher the likelihood is that it continues to grow in size and scope and severity.
The Atlantic now seeing a record number of storms. Hurricane Paulette encircling the entire island of Bermuda, and newly formed tropical storms Teddy and Vicky adding to the already busy hurricane season.
The city of New Orleans says they are prepared for what Sally might bring, but the big concern here is how much rain the city will be able to handle in a short amount of time. Elwin Lopez, ABC News, New Orleans.
And here is the latest on Sally, which continues to churn here in the northern Gulf of Mexico. It is a Category 2 hurricane with winds of 100 miles per hour. But you can see how slowly this thing is going to move and then kind of turn to the right and the east here, still hanging out around Atlanta as we get into the day on Thursday. So that's why the very heavy rain threat there. Also expecting that to really stay south and east of our area with little to no impact for us. Our temperature 74 degrees with those sunny skies out there right now. Northeast breeze still around 15 miles per hour, about 10 miles per hour in Kokomo and Bloomington with those temperatures in the lower to middle 70s. And with clear skies again tonight, we'll start to see those temperatures dropping off. We'll be into the middle 60s here just past midnight, and we will fall back into the 50s tomorrow morning. May even see a couple of spots like Richmond down into the 40s. So you might want to have that jacket just for a couple of hours because we will start to warm pretty quickly. But 53 in Lafayette for your Tuesday morning, 52 in Columbus. But we are back in the sunshine for our Tuesday. So sunglasses will be required here. Your temperature for the lunch hour right around 70 degrees, and we'll get into the middle and upper 70s for that afternoon high. A little bit of a breeze out there, but not as gusty as what it's been throughout the afternoon today. Temperature-wise, right at 80 degrees in Bloomington, 77 Muncie and Peru. Average high is in the upper 70s. In fact, tomorrow it falls off another degree here as we start getting into some of the cooler months. But to go along with that, we do have the very low humidity that's in place. It will be there tomorrow. Comes up just a little bit Wednesday and Thursday, but you notice it's still in that comfortable range, and then it actually falls off the scale as we get another shot of some cool air heading into the upcoming weekend. But that means we're not really expecting much in the way of rain either. So if you do need to get some of that yard work done, you're in good shape to do that right through the end of the week and into next weekend. We could just use a little bit of rain, though, because the grass probably isn't growing all that much, as dry as it's been. We look at TrueCast, there's Wednesday afternoon. You can see the remnants of Sally really staying here over the southern states. We'll have a front that comes through that brings in only about a 20% chance of some wet weather here by Wednesday into Thursday. 7-day planning forecast, we put it all together for you here, and there's one day in the 80s, Wednesday afternoon at 83 degrees. That isolated chance for some rain on Thursday, followed by very cool temperatures. By Saturday and Sunday morning, we have lows in the middle 40s, so you might need the sweater or jacket there. We do recover into the lower 70s for those afternoon highs.
The new season of Dancing with the Stars premieres tonight at 8 right here on WRTV, and like so many other things these days, it's going to be a bit different. ABC's Rena Roy has a preview of the changes and what contestants are hoping to share with you.
A new host, a new judge, and a new season for Dancing with the Stars. Season 29 brings a lot of changes, starting with new host Tyra Banks, who will bring her own style to the show.
My style is just very raw, very real. A lot of humor, a lot of self-deprecation. Because I'm a producer, I'm not just hosting, I'm producing and seeing what's happening and understanding a moment that's about to happen or a moment that happened, and not to let that slip.
The new judge is fan favorite and 6-time winner Derek Huff.
For me, I want to encourage, I want to inspire, I want to motivate, but I also am going to be honest.
Something else that's new this season is the show's first ever black female pro dancer, Britt Stewart. Other big changes have to do with the way the show is produced because of the COVID pandemic. There are 3 married pro couples, and they'll have to live apart while they're doing the show. And there's no live audience this season, but Banks says it will still be the show fans know and love.
I think what they will all feel is still the joy, the excitement. The team is amazing. So even though we won't have a live audience, we are in the ballroom, which is huge.
The cast is as eclectic as ever and includes Tiger King animal activist Carol Baskin, actresses Anne Heche and Justina Machado, rapper Nelly, Olympic figure skater Johnny Weir, Bachelorette Caitlin Bristow, and Backstreet Boys singer AJ McLean.
Oh my God, we're back again.
All of the celebrity dancers hope that the return of the show during these challenging times will mean something special to viewers.
We're here to bring a little joy to a place in this world that needs some connection, maybe some laughter.
That's the best thing about this show, is it brings joy, it brings people happiness. So we need that right now.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
As the pandemic continues to disrupt our lives, many people are looking for ways to manage the stress. Drink maker PepsiCo is adding to your options of stress release aid. On Monday, the company unveiled DriftWell. That's a new drink designed to help ease stress and help you relax. PepsiCo says the drink is loaded with an amino acid that helps with calmness, improves focus, and helps with sleep. You'll be able to get DriftWell online later this year and in stores early next year. I'm calm just thinking about it.
Yeah, worth a try, and you know, it'll relax you just looking at this forecast tomorrow. No stresses there with our weather. We continue with lots of sunshine here. Temperatures will make their way well into the 70s, close to 80 degrees, and I think we will get into the lower 80s by Wednesday. Just that small chance for a shower or thunderstorm here on Thursday, and then next weekend, yeah, you might need that jacket because we got temperatures that'll start the day in the 40s.
Thank you for making WRTV your choice for news. Our next newscast is tonight at 11. We'll see you then.